morning. Good evening. How are we doing tonight? Dylan, Rich,
Hey,
Tuesday evening is here. The opening day is 2 days away from everyone else except for the Cubs and the Dodgers. Basketball off the
and Tampa
wall.
and Colorado.
Um, Hurley from Connecticut probably going to end up going to jail after his tirade after the loss to Florida. I guess you're not allowed to threaten
Yeah.
people in the state of North Carolina. Referees definitely caused a lot of drama in that madness. But anyway,
Oh, come on. Referees weren't the reason why UConn lost. It was Mr. Walter Clayton Jr. kicking UConn's butt.
Well,
Rich, if you sit like that the whole show, it looks like you're wearing the. It looks like you're in that jersey.
what, that one?
Back a little more. Go back a little more.
Oh, the one Skeens is wearing?
Yeah. It looks like.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what happens on that. But I just saw that they were looking into it, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to be in some hot water, man.
And we just lost Rich. I don't know where he went.
No, I'm here.
Maybe he's changing
I'm
his. Maybe he's changing his avatar.
I'm here.
So, just curious, does anyone still have any of their Final Fours still all remaining?
I've got 3 of my 4.
I've got all 4 of mine, baby.
I got Michigan State, I got Auburn, I have Florida, and I have Houston.
Wait a minute. How do you have
all
Michigan
still alive?
Wait, Adam. How do you have Michigan State and Auburn in your Final Four? Michigan State and Auburn might
I have Michigan State beating Auburn. I have all 4 of mine are still remaining. Who's ever in that lower bracket?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I've got
Florida scared the living bejeepers out of me, thinking, "Oh crap, it's my national championship pick about to lose to freaking Coach Hurley and UConn."
St. John's screwed me. I had them in the finals against Houston, and I had Houston winning, but I had.
You're still alive a little bit. You're still alive a little bit.
I still have Auburn. I still have Arizona, and I still have Houston.
Wait
Auburn's
a minute.
losing.
You realize
Auburn's losing to Michigan State?
No, not in Atlanta. No.
You're giving Tom Izzo a chance to go over this whole thing. Get out of here.
In fact, I had Michigan State losing to Iowa State, who got knocked out. So
I do not. I had Michigan State in my Final Four. Actually, I have them.
I have 7 of my Elite 8.
I have them dancing in the Final 2 and winning it.
I've got 7 out of the Elite 8. The only one I'm missing is St. John's.
I have all my Elite 8 teams. I picked every 1 and 2 seed except St. John's because I had Texas Tech being St. John in the Sweet 16 with St. John's lack of 3-point shooting.
Every time I go with my Red Raiders, I get screwed, so I didn't take them. And sure as shooting, here we go.
And then watch Arkansas beat Texas Tech, and we're both wrong.
No. Arkansas is not beating Texas Tech. Now I've got Florida beating Texas Tech. I could see Florida beating Texas Tech, but I don't see Arkansas beating them. I think Florida beats Maryland bad. and then they
You're
beat
saying
Tech.
You're saying the Pittsburgh kid goes down this round. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you guys hear about this whole deal with UT, University of Texas? The true UT, by the way, not those guys in Knoxville. They lose. Who did they lose to in the play-in game?
Xavier.
Who's their
And
head
then,
coach?
Sean Miller, who just became
former Pitt Panther Sean Miller.
and now Sean
Head-
Miller head coach of Texas.
I'm glad he got another chance after that whole Arizona debacle.
Yeah. That was one of those. He was the guy that replaced the guy, and he was in a no-win situation in Arizona. He replaced Lute Olson. What do you want? That's just like when what the heck is his name? Shoot.
Hubert Davis,
the former Tar Heel player that took over after Dean Smith quit or retired.
Doherty?
Oh shoot. There was a guy between Dean Smith and Roy Williams.
Matt Doherty?
Doherty, that's it. He was in a no-win situation. Absolutely
he was
no-win situation.
He was like Jerron Mayo.
Yeah, I mean, you're replacing a legend. You're screwed no matter what you do. Because if you win it all, you did it with the other guys. If you don't, well, you stink as a head coach. So I mean, you're completely Rod Mayo.
Okay, all right. So what if Mayo would have won with May?
I think Gerard Mayo took the high hard one anyway. I don't understand why they fired him in the first place, except for the fact they wanted Vrabel.
No, I'm just like Rich. What you just said, he won it with the previous guys, but if he won it with Mayo, I'm just throwing I'm just throwing a very low percentage out there. Is that really still his guys? Because I mean, he brought in Kendrick. Well, I mean, there were still a lot of new faces in New England.
Well, the big thing is with Belichick gone, okay, your three biggest guys in New England are now gone. Brady, Belichick, Gronkowski. Because I don't care what anybody says, that was Brady's biggest weapon was Gronkowski. So when you take those three guys out of the picture and then say, here, do something with this. Now, will Drake May end up being a good quarterback? Yes. I think Drake May is going to be a very good quarterback. But I also think that Gerard Mayo got kind of short-stacked. If they would have made the playoffs or if they would have finished 500, I think he would have kept the job. But at the same time, they were really hammering getting Mike Vrabel in there. And when he became available, that Gerard Mayo was screwed from that point. It's a similar situation to the deal with Brian Flores. Brian Flores took the high hard one too in Miami. I think he got sold very short stacked, and he hasn't had a head coaching job since, which I think is stupid because he's a brilliant football mind that I think could do some really good things with a young team.
I disagree. I disagree with you on Flores. I think some guys are destined to be offensive coordinators. Some guys are destined to be defensive coordinators, and some guys are destined to be head coaches. I think Brian Flores is a defensive coordinator, and the relationship with Tua had degraded to the point where Brian Flores and Tua were never going to work well together.
Right, because Tua was a wuss and still is. I mean, I'm eliminating the concussions. Okay, concussions are concussions. I'm not talking about that. He was missing practices for hangnails and stuff like that. He was coming out of games because he got hit too hard. Look, it's football. Man up, get out there, play the game. And Tua didn't want to hear it. Tua was that prima donna quarterback coming in from a legacy program like Alabama and was expected to be treated with kid gloves. And Flores wasn't having any of it.
Yeah, but here's what I would also say. Tua was coming off a major hip injury in college, and we know defensive coaches, especially ones with attitudes, like yapping. I mean, Tomlin's got a personality, but Tomlin's never developed an offensive line or a good running game. When Flores ran Miami's offense was nowhere near the offense it is now.
But wait a minute. Tua had a clean bill of health when he was drafted. Tua had a clean bill of health when he stepped into the first practice with Miami. You got a clean bill of health. You're supposed to be able to play the game. Forget that injury. You have a clean bill of health. You can't fall back on that and say, oh, my hip hurts too bad for me to practice. No, especially when you're not going through contact drills.
You get paid too much money. It's like saying, hey, I got into a car wreck and now all of a sudden I don't want to drive.
Exactly.
Well, I can drive to the grocery store, but I can't drive an hour.
Right. Doesn't make any sense.
So what do you guys think of this Diggs signing to New England? They're saying he's going to be ready by week 1. I have no idea. I don't pay attention to Diggs. I'm not a Diggs fan. I just ain't.
I mean, he'll help Drake May because it gives him another target, but I think Diggs is done as far as being a premier receiver. He just, to me, seems like he's another one of those guys that's in it for the money and not that concerned about playing the game or playing it hard. And he didn't really care where he landed as long as he made the money.
Right? Are we getting a special visitor tonight, Rich?
We very well might. Hey, come here, Jackson. Come here, buddy. Oh, he's hanging out with
Jackson. Jackson is Rich's grandson. He's become quite the notable guy on me and Rich's show on Wednesdays. He's made a couple of appearances.
I mean,
hasn't made his appearance yet here.
Come here.
So, what did you guys think of the $21 million man to the Giants?
This guy right here. You say hi to Adam. Hey, wave to Adam. Where are you going?
Rich, I think you need to get like a splitter so we can give him headphones so he can hear us talking.
Fall down.
Yeah.
You need to fall down.
What's up, buddy? Why don't you put a little? Can you put it? Do you have an extra earphone for him?
I might be able to do that. Yeah. Hold on.
What? That way he can actually hear us instead of just looking at us.
Go get Gigi.
Like strangers.
Why?
So what were your first thoughts? I mean, Rich, obviously I texted you right away is that you're gonna burn the jersey.
Oh, when Wilson signed with the Giants?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't mad about that at all. No, not on the keyboard, buddy.
Hi, buddy. See, Rich, if he had an earphone in, he might be able to like hear us and know like, oh my gosh, there's people really talking.
No.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
You're Adam.
What are you doing?
Would you stop?
He's being a kid.
Yeah. Not on the keyboard, buddy. Hey, Gigi's out front. Gigi's in the living room, buddy.
He's got his whole life for you to teach him, Grandpa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He does have a lot of his priorities straight though. He's a big train kid. He likes his race cars. So he has his train out in the kitchen that he brings in, and he runs it all over the house and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
So this came up as a topic. This came up as a topic last night, Rich. Are you aware? Are you aware if they're putting ice in the back of the train in Houston, or what are they doing? Because it was oranges last year.
He's okay. What? Say again?
Yeah, on the train, on the home run train.
Open mic night appearance.
On the home run train.
Are you leaving me? Hold on a second, Adam. Are you leaving me?
How'd the first show go, buddy?
It went well. but I got to remember to make it go live the minute I create the show. I accidentally forgot to do that. And then when I made it go live, it was in the middle of the show, but that was an honest mistake. I know I can fix that.
Yeah, you also went live under the UFL one and changed it to Subway Conversation.
Yeah, I accidentally hit my mic and I don't know what it is. I keep hitting my mic, so I'm like, I'm gonna send my mic to the DL next.
So it went good, James?
Yeah, it went well. We made some crazy I said they would be the Yankees and the Mets in the World Series. He's got the Yankees and the Braves. He said the Dodgers don't go back because the MLB's a crapshoot playoff system. He said they can win 120 games, but the way the playoffs, but because of that crapshoot playoff system, they don't go back.
It's a distinct possibility. I don't have the Dodgers in the World Series.
That's interesting because they made their team better than last year, though. That's what's funny, though.
Oh, I'll tell you this. I don't know if you tuned into my stream. I don't have the Dodgers in the World Series.
No, but I wonder why people like all of us think that even though they made their team better than last year and they won it last year.
I'm the only one in this. I'm the only one in this room that has the Dodgers going to the World Series. Am I not?
You might be, because I don't.
I didn't.
Because I don't know that the Dodgers are really better. They're deeper, but are they really better? I mean, they added pitching, but they've already got 4 pitchers on the IL. You know, Yamamoto went 90 innings last year. You don't know what you're going to get out of Sasaki. You don't know what you're going to get out of Kershaw. You don't know what you're going to get out of May. You don't know what you're going to get out of a lot of these guys.
Sasaki's got electric stuff, though.
Yeah, but how many innings are you going to get out of him? Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's one of those things that I just don't know. And really, their batting order, if you really think about their batting order,
yeah.
Once you get past cleanup,
I think the loss of Gavin. I think the loss of Gavin Lux. I think the Gavin Lux loss is going to hurt them more than they know.
Yeah,
I mean,
like 5 to 8. I'm sorry.
Gavin Lux is one of my favorites on that team when he was there.
Yeah, Lux is good, but I mean Edman and then rolling up to the top because Muncy's going to hit 205. Yeah, he's going to hit 30 bombs, but he's going to hit 205. Will Smith hit 218 the second half of the year, or I'm sorry, the last 5 months of the year last year. He had a hell of an April and couldn't hit with a Bodor after that. You know, your lineup is just Freddie Freeman's getting banged up. He's up there in years. Mookie Betts is having this illness issue that, dude, he's been down for 2 weeks.
And you also
start getting concerned.
You also have to look at, and this is crazy, that last year the MLB league batting average was only 240. That's actually true. They said that.
Well, I know. There were only 6 teams last year that hit over 250. Adam and I talked about that.
The Yankees only had one guy bat over 300, and it was Judge because Soto batted 288.
There were only 8 guys in the whole major leagues that hit over 300, Jamie. 8 in the entire majors. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Right. Nobody cares about batting average anymore. It's about on base and how many home runs you hit.
Well, no,
right. It's also the pitching.
Odd basis situational hitting are coming back because of the rule changes. That's why.
They are, and pitching has gotten better.
Well, yeah, to
a large degree.
Yeah, because everybody's throwing like 95 and 100 coming out of college now, basically.
Speaking of what would have been 110-mile-an-hour ball, Caroline Pickens out of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. That was amazing. 78 miles per hour from 43 feet away. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yeah. 0.3 of a second to react. 0.3 of a second to react.
This is what I do. I just stand and hope you don't hit me.
She's not going to hit you. She's got that gun of her. Holy cow. Do you realize Tennessee also has 2 of the fastest pitches held in NCAA history?
Yeah, Monica Abbott.
Yeah.
The one, what was it, 105 for the men? I forget his name though.
Yeah, I don't remember the guy, but Monica Abbott was the softball.
When I saw that, I was just in total shock. I was like, "What the?"
We had the Baylor does a thing where they would do the softball team versus the media every year. I played in that a couple of times. And these girls weren't throwing. Made contact a couple of times. I got a hit in two.
Did you slap? Did you slap hit it, or did you actually like get in there and bat?
No, I actually timed. It was my third time up. I actually hit a line shot off the wall. But at the same time, that ball is there now. I mean, you have very little time. You think it's hard to hit a baseball? Try hitting that, and they're so much closer to you because they're only 46 feet away instead of being 60 feet, and it's coming from low to high instead of high to low.
Dylan, you are aware the Giants paid $21 million for Russ, right? With 10.5 guaranteed.
No, it's 1 year, $10.5 million they gave.
No, that was guaranteed. It was $21 million for 1 year.
21.
Oh. No,
incentives would get it to 21.
The other 10.5 goes to Sierra.
I wrote that actually.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
I never know who writes. I know you two.
Jameson didn't have to pay a dime for it. That was 2 years, $8 million.
And I'll tell you, I was telling Dylan this earlier. I wouldn't have been mad if the Steelers would have signed Jameson. I wouldn't.
Think about it. You wouldn't have had to pay a dime to get him.
This would have been Hunter's deal, man. He would have been able to catch passes. Then when he threw the interception, just turn around and try and catch an interception right back. But they went out and signed Russell instead.
Be honest with you,
but it tells you they're still drafting a quarterback though with these two moves.
No,
Jamie, you're in that division too. What did you feel of New England signing Diggs?
I mean, I think that's a lot of money for him at this point of his career. But the Patriots have so much cap space, they can afford to give him that type of deal. So.
All right. Jamie, before you got on too, we also asked, do you have any final four teams left? Are all four still standing, or?
I think so. I think so. I have all the big four still.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's where the money's run in that final week, in that final round.
Yeah,
I didn't have any Cinderellas because there were barely any Cinderellas this year.
Thank goodness Florida won. Otherwise, I would have absolutely peed my pants.
Oh my God! Did you see what Dylan? What did you think? Why do you think Dan Hurley acted like a fussy baby against Florida?
Dan Hurley is all Aaron's Bobby Knight, and it's not even
close. He's got the TV on.
I hope they don't F you like they F'd us.
Yeah,
and his freaking his Sid guy threatening the reporter. I mean, come on.
Well, and the funny part the funny part was one of the guys that he was saying that to was Baylor's guy.
Yeah, it was.
Which it was funny because I was talking to him about an hour before that.
You were there covering it again like you usually do?
No, I mean I'm at the house. I'm still doing the wheelchair thing at the moment. But we were talking and I was doing some things with it and everything. And then that all happened. He calls me back. He goes, "You're never going to believe this." I was like, "What?" He said, "Hurley from Connecticut just absolutely went off." I was like, "Right." And then I saw it and I was like, "Oh no." He said, "Yeah, that dude, he was yelling at me and one of the other guys." So.
What about when Creighton beat him and he turns around and he goes, "We got 2 rings, Baldy."
Yeah. He's not. I don't think his elevator makes it all the way to the top. I really don't.
I think Dan Hurley's ego might outlive the elevator.
I think Dan Hurley's ego could lift the elevator and Aaron Rodgers' ego at the same time.
Ooh,
Yeah!
So we'll find out this Saturday because Pat McAfee has a sold-out house at the PPG Bands.
You know what? I've got a better idea. I think Dan Hurley's ego might lift the Bills to a Super Bowl next year.
Oh, nice. Good one.
All right. Where are we going? We already covered those topics. I just wanted to hear Jamie's opinion. Where are we going next, guys?
By the way, I think there's a chance the Cleveland Browns now take Shedeur Sanders at 2 now.
Who?
I think the Browns take Shedeur Sanders at 2.
I think you're on crack.
No, I'm not.
Nope.
Why
They're taking
I
Abdul.
like
They're taking Carter.
They're taking Abdul Carter.
They're taking Abdul Carter.
Quarterback.
They're taking Abdul Carter. Why would you pass up the generational talent for a crackhead fucking quarterback?
The absolute only way Abdul Carter does not go to Cleveland is if Tennessee takes him at 1. That is the only way he doesn't go at 2. And there's a slim to none chance he gets taken at 1.
You know what? I think there's an 80% chance Shedeur Sanders goes at 2 now.
Why?
Maybe.
What moved you on him?
I think everybody, I don't know what it is, but like everybody is picking and prodding Shedeur Sanders. I'm like, Shedeur Sanders is a very accurate quarterback. I think Shedeur is very accurate, not a great athlete, not necessarily the best thrower, but I think Shedeur in this draft is a very good prospect, very good prospect. Reminds me a lot
they thought Malik Willis was. They thought Malik Willis was a good prospect too.
Just out of curiosity, how much Colorado football did you watch this past year?
More than you.
I doubt that.
Yeah, but what the guy was
Rich is in the Big 12. Rich is in the Big 12.
Howard
Big 12 country, man.
Right, but Colin Cowherd said it on his show. What that guy did with no offensive line and basically no running game. He's like, I don't care what level of football you're on. Like, that's impressive for a young man at that level to do that. What he did.
It is, but is he that good? No. Not even close.
I just think that tells me in the NFL, if you give him an O-line and a running game, he could be good in the NFL.
Well, any quarterback could be that, though. I mean,
how many quarterbacks could do what he did with trash on the O-line and running game? You know,
right? But he holds the ball too long. He definitely does not go through his progressions well. Doesn't read defense as well. He reacts. He does not read. And that gets you in a lot of trouble. You can get away with that in college. You can't get away with that in the NFL.
I mean, I think he lives up to the name Sanders. There's some people that don't live up to their family's name. I think he does. So.
Wait a minute. Is Big Rich about to put on a Shedeur Sanders jersey now?
I'm telling you, you're on mute. They're taking Abdul Carter, dude. They'd be dumb to pass him up.
They already got Myles Garrett. They don't need to.
Doesn't matter. You still need the other side.
You paid Myles Garrett all that money.
So why would you not want dominance on the defensive side of the ball?
It doesn't matter when you don't have a quarterback.
Thank you, Jamie.
You still have to have players to shut down Lamar Jackson twice a year and Joe Burrow twice a year.
That's true. That's true, though. That is true. Didn't think about that.
Why wouldn't they want that for the next 6-7 years?
So wait, defense. So wait, in a division with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, we're gonna have the Browns might have Kenny Pickett under center when you can get Shedeur Sanders.
When you could have a defense that can stop these guys, yes, you take defense. You take defense.
He's able. I know you guys didn't like him at Pittsburgh, but he's capable of winning games with the Browns. Call me crazy, but he could be.
I think he's playing with an anger. I think he's playing angry. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be okay.
I think if Kenny Pickett starts, I think if Kenny Pickett is the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback,
if he was able to go 9-8 in that 1 year with Tomlin, I mean, who knows what he could do with? There's no telling what he could do with Stefanski and the Browns.
You mean that juggernaut in Cleveland? That juggernaut offense that Stefanski has together in Cleveland?
Kenny Pickett is more set for a Kevin Stefanski kind of offense, though.
Yeah, but like what does Evan say all the time? In a Kevin Stefanski offense, you don't need an elite quarterback. He always says that on here. Remember, he argues that all the time.
I mean, Kirk Cousins shined.
Well, but remember,
they're taking Abdul Carter. I'm not. There's no way you pass that up. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I think Kenny Pickett.
I'm in the division, in the division, and I'm saying they take Carter.
Yeah,
I've got my and they
didn't have to pay a dime for Kenny Pickett either, which is what was great.
I'm changing my top 10 mock draft, and I have Abdul Carter dropping the Giants at 3.
I don't know if the Giants don't need pass rush. No, that's the thing.
I'm on a show, Missy.
All right, I've got a better idea.
You're looking. If Carter doesn't get drafted at 2, okay, if for some insane reason
they have him going 4 to New England, because even though they're saying yes, New England may have to take an offensive tackle,
right? But New England got the 3rd pick.
Before they're saying New England wouldn't have
New
a
England's
choice
got 4.
to take him at 4.
He's got 3.
New England has 4, but no. I don't think they would take him at 4.
You think they would still go with Travis Hunter tackle need, right? Need over BPA. That's what you're saying. I think they should go need over BPA.
I think
they go Travis Hunter.
I think New England would take out Duke Carter and call it a day.
They need line help though too to protect May though. You're
right. The Campbell kid from LSU would be the best pick for.
I think that would be their best pick as well, Rich. I'm
That's
right with
who
you.
I have.
He may be a little. They said his frame isn't like. They said his hands are a little bit small, but he's very athletic for an offensive lineman. Though
he's a lineman. Why?
They said that he has feet like Joe Thomas.
Right, but they said he's a freak athlete for an O-line.
You hear the word Joe Thomas, you think Hall of Fame.
Exactly. If you get compared to Joe Thomas in any way, shape, or form, you're okay.
You know what I always remember
Joe
about
Thomas. Joe Thomas, when he played, right?
Yeah.
The day he retired and came out, the guy that filled in for his spot had more flags than him that game than Joe Thomas had his whole career.
Right.
That is crazy stat right there. Crazy.
I got another one for you.
Go ahead, Rich. Hold on, Dylan.
You ready for this one? Joe Thomas and Zach Martin are the only 2 players since 1980. The only 2 offensive linemen, I apologize, since 1980 to play more than 10 years in the NFL and have more all-pro selections than holding penalties.
That is crazy. That's a hell of a stat.
That tells you how good those guys were.
And Zach Martin's going to the Hall of Fame when he's eligible. That's
no question. Him and Tyron Smith both are. There's not even an argument on that. Much as I hate the Cowboys, there's no argument.
I just hope they do it right next year.
I've got a question. Open days.
Hall of Fame.
2 days away. We've got
team still.
You knuckleheads. I'm a knucklehead. Pick a number between 1 and 10, guys.
What are we doing?
We're going to announce division winners, wild card, MVP, Cy Young, and World Series. Pick a number between 1 and 8. I mean 10.
3.
And they're still playing their.
Jamie?
I am not fucking prepared.
Pick a number 2, 1 and 8.
10.
No, 1 and 10.
1 and 10. 2.
2, 3, and 6 are picked, Dylan.
Wait, which one did you pick, Adam?
I picked 6.
I picked 2 for Shedeur Sanders.
We are going to start with you, Adam.
I mean, yay. Rich, I'm still mad about this fantasy draft that I didn't get skins. I was mad. I was not happy.
Okay, wait a minute. You got Witt. Calm down.
I got who?
You got Witt.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm so frustrated.
You got Witt. You got Seager.
I was so frustrated the whole draft. I didn't even draft right. I was so frustrated.
I looked at your team. Your team ain't bad. I was pretty impressed with mine.
I'm not impressed at all.
Good teams on any given.
I already got a trade offer for Vientos, and I'm turning it down. Guy sent me Bregman for Vientos. I'm like, no, thank you.
No, why? No, come on.
I think I would do that trade. Bregman will have a big year in Fenway.
No, he's not. He's not going to hit 250. You watch.
I think Bregman will hit 297.
No. Nah. Anyway, Adam, do your stuff. I got a boogie in about 25 minutes.
All right. So what are we doing here? I'm going Paul Skeens, Cy Young. I'm putting full homer on that one. What did I say with Michaela? I said the Cubs win the Central. I think the Guardians can win the Central in the American League. East, I like the Red Sox. East in the NL, I think you have to go Philly, right? And then Dodgers and I guess Texas. Even though I really like Seattle, I think Seattle sneaks in there this year. I think they figure out how to hit the damn ball.
That's their only problem.
But I think Texas gets the West.
And then what? We need Cy Young and MVPs and World Series teams. Is that right, Dylan?
Are we doing only divisions first, and then we'll do our round of the next topic? That work? Dylan, you seem so fucking lost. What's going on, buddy?
Big Sexy, you're up.
Who the hell?
Okay.
That's because you got a hitting softball, Rich, off one of them fast girls.
NL East, Philly, NL Central. Kind of have to go Cubs. I don't really want to.
Milwaukee's got to be in that topic. No. Cincinnati's got to be in that topic too with Terry.
I was going to say I'm going Cincy. Give me Cincy in the NL Central. NL West, give me the Dodgers. AL East, Red Sox. Central, Guardians. West, Rangers.
Even though Kansas City is going to be good too, I'm not going to leave them out.
Oh yeah,
I have Kansas
City.
Those
wild card spots are going to be tough to. There's going to be a lot of teams going for them.
I was expecting Matt to come on and argue with Dylan tonight because, he does not have.
He doesn't even have the Yankees in the postseason. I got the Yankees winning the AL East.
Well, that's huge. You better have the Yankees winning the AL East. That's your team.
I even think even with all the injuries, they still could.
I could not pick the Pittsburgh Pirates to win the AL Central.
I did.
NL Central. I can't do it. It's not.
I picked the Pirates too.
All right, Jamie, your turn. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jamie. Jamie, go shoot him off.
My show, I went with smoke screen of the year.
Go ahead, Jamie. Your turn. Pick your divisions.
AL East, Yanks. Let's see. AL West. I went with a surprise one. I said Sacramento's going to shock the world with because they left Oakland and they're going to shock the world in that tiny minor league ballpark of theirs.
Okie dokie.
Dude, I was going to pick their catcher, Rich, and then he went right before I was ready to pick.
But here's why.
Whatever
you look at
their
their
Langoliers.
if you look at their first payroll in Sacramento relative to Oakland, it was more money they spent in free agency being in their first year in Sacramento than they ever did with Oakland because they signed Luis Hill to a.
Here comes our Angel guy talking about the West. Riley Chris is
Severino and yeah, they signed a few players. The Oakland did, and they've got some really good young players. Or Sacramento, or whatever.
I like Sacramento.
Yeah, but I said they need to get they had to get back into the habit of spending again because they couldn't afford to still have the lowest payroll. There's no excuse for them to have the lowest payroll now that they're out of Oakland and they're in Sacramento before Vegas. So, but anyway, let's see. AL West, I actually had the Astros. I think for one more year, they do it with a young team, but then they take a little dip while they try to rebuild with this young team. My wild cards, I have
even with the loss of Cal Tucker and Bregman, you still have the Astros winning this division.
They got a lot of young bucks though that can get it done. Jacob Melton being one of them.
All right. I mean, it's your, it's what you see. I don't see it.
That's because they're young, Adam. They're rebuilding now. That's why.
Oh, they're rebuilding off analytics. It's going to take a lot longer than that.
That can override though buying your team and winning with analytics can override having a high payroll. That's the thing. The Yankees do it now. Like
why do I know what you're watching?
That's Dylan, not me. Don't worry. Dylan, RFK said he's going to ban those pharmaceutical commercials. So anyway, that's a different topic for a different type of show. That's for
we try to keep politics off the show,
right.
But that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right. So what do you got? AL Central, Dylan or James?
AL Central. Let me see what I got. I got to remember the teams of the AL Central.
Did you go with the Royals or the Guardians?
I had the Guardians.
Because the White Sox were already eliminated, right?
Yep.
But they got
a lot of young Vaughn finally going to get traded?
They do have a lot of young prospects, so they were able to get last year in their huge sell-off, though. That's the thing, the White Sox.
So we're the Marlins. They're going to be They're going to be. We'll see what these prospects bring in a couple years.
Yeah. Oh God! Don't talk to me about prospects.
No, they got a lot of really highly rated young prospects.
Well, Thursday, Dylan, we're going to see what these.
One of them was from the Yankees, Augustine Ramirez. He's a catcher. One of them you got from the Jazz, Chisholm deal, and Augustine Ramirez. He's on the active roster.
Dylan, we'll see what these guys do on Thursday when they face Paul Skeens.
Pirates, same thing. They're young team too every year.
Wait. Oh, by the way, Adam, I'll tell you my picks right now. Division picks right now. AL East.
Go ahead. We got to be quick, guys. We got about 10 minutes left. So
okay. Division wildcard. AL East, Boston, Central, Kansas City, West, Texas, wildcard, Tampa, Detroit, A's, NL, Braves, Reds, Dodgers, wildcard, Phils, Cubs, D-backs.
Not the Mets with Juan Soto in their lineup. Wow.
Even with the D-backs losing Jordan Montgomery probably for the year today.
Jordan Montgomery wouldn't even have made the rotation. By the way, I have the Yankees finishing 4th in the AL East.
Jamie's ready to start.
I'm not sure about that one.
Jamie's ready to start fighting.
Right now, I don't think the Yankees play meaningful baseball in October. I think, you know what? I might be crazy. I think I don't know if I think losing Garrett Cole and Big G will hurt, and I'm not sure.
Giancarlo Stanton's injury prone every year. He's a waste product, Dylan. We don't need him anymore.
I don't know.
Losing Soto is going to hurt them more than losing Stanton.
Yeah, but they ended up getting Max Fried. They had to get rid of Soto to get Fried, and they need Fried now because Cole's hurt. So
right.
Who do you have winning the Cy Young and MVP in both leagues?
Paul Skeens.
By all Skeens necessary.
In both leagues?
Why not?
AL.
Oh man, I don't even know.
AL.
You mean there's other pitchers?
AL Rookie of the Year.
You mean there's other pitchers?
Yes,
No.
Jackson Jobe
From Detroit. Number 3.
Yeah, they said he can throw triple digits like Skeens.
I'm taking Skeens in the National League, and I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say my man is going to be healthy. Jacob deGrom is going to win the AL Cy
Young. I think Zach Wheeler finally gets his Cy Young in the NL, and Garrett Crochet wins the AL Cy Young this year. But Jacob deGrom gets him run for his money.
I was leaning towards Crochet too.
I
was leaning towards Garrett finally. I think he's going to get out of his fucking funk. And
who are you talking about?
Garrett Crochet.
Guy.
Who's in the
Crochet?
Who's in the World Series this year?
I got Yankees and Yankees Mets. Yankees win 4-2 over the Mets.
Ooh.
I got Dodgers. I got Dodgers. Red Sox. Gonna go from 80 to snow in the Fall Classic. It's gonna be awesome.
They had to do that last year too with the Yankees and the Dodgers.
No, it was fine. Actually, it was warm for the World Series in the Bronx last year.
Right, it was.
I got one for you though.
Here we go.
Rangers, Phillies.
Ooh. Ranger Rick.
Rangers, Phillies.
Rich, are they still using Globe Life Park as a high school field, or is it fully
Marcus?
For the,
you asked us yesterday.
Globe Life Park is used for college baseball, for high school baseball state championships. It's used for other events.
The
UFL plays there, yeah. The Renegades.
We were wondering that last night. We weren't sure. I was like, wait, they play high school games there and college games there. I thought they played their state championship games there.
No,
they play all their high school.
They do.
No, baseball.
Oh yeah,
the football games are at Jerry World, but the baseball state championships are at Globe Life Park, and
that's
UFL
the indoor one, right?
It. No, the outdoor, the real.
Why don't they let the state championships be played indoors?
Because Jasmine Crockett wouldn't let them.
You're really wanting me to melt down on this, aren't you?
Okay, guys.
That they should not be playing indoors to start with, but
guys,
no, I mean that's why they left the stadium up.
Okay, by the way, here's the real World Series this year. Red Sox, Braves.
Ooh.
No. Ooh. I don't know if the Braves had the pitching to do it.
I mean,
I don't know if Strider can pull him that far.
Chris Sale won the Cy Young last year, and if Strider and Acuna come back, I think the Braves are going to be just.
Chris Sale's also 38.
I think the loss of Max Fried is going to hurt them.
52.
I don't know that Sale, Stoneweis, and Strider is going to make it.
I mean, Randy Johnson only won 64 games until he was 30. Then all of a sudden he was at 303 when he was done. So he won all those games after he turned 30. That's crazy. That is a crazy stat. And I know Montreal
throwing 96 miles an hour the first year he was with the Yankees at like 40 years old. At 40.
Well, you know what the funny part was?
I got to see Randy Johnson in 2005 pitch in Yankee Stadium against the Pirates, and he won 6-1, and it was a complete blowout. The Pirates were no match for Randy Johnson on that day.
Guys,
you know what turned Randy Johnson around?
Hitting the bird.
He spent an entire off season in Alvin, Texas, working with Nolan Ryan. And Ryan taught him to slow himself down and all that. Because if you watch him with the Expos and that kind of deal, he was like a whirling dervish kind of a thing. Ryan taught him to be methodical, to be very, very regimented and that kind of stuff. If you watch him, once he got to that point, you could watch him pitch after pitch after pitch, and it was cookie cutter. Exact same motion every time. Just like
Clark. Oh, yeah.
And
who's going to catch? Who the hell is going to catch for – Raleigh Chris has brought that up. Who's going to catch for the Braves?
Who needs to catch? That'd be fine.
Well, now that Murphy's hurt,
they lost their cleanup. They lost their cleanup guy.
And they let Travis d'Arnaud walk.
That's what I mean. Their cleanup guy, Travis.
Do you have one big bold prediction for the upcoming season?
One bold prediction for the upcoming season?
Yeah.
Pirates make the playoffs.
I was going to say we have the lowest trade deadline ever.
Jermaine.
Yeah.
What's your bold prediction, Jamie?
Like I said, Sacramento wins the AL West and the Pirates win the NL Central.
That was his bold prediction.
I didn't go bold enough to say division, but I got them. I got the Pirates making the playoffs. Yeah.
I've got 5 bold predictions. I think
you said 1. You said 1. You cannot have 5.
Okay.
I'm changing my rule.
The Marlins are going to lose to the the Pirates. The Marlins are going to lose to the White Sox, and I'm going to fall off a cliff if that happens.
By the way, 1, the A's make the playoffs.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'll pin it. Never mind. There you go.
Oh my God.
There you go. Raleigh Chris, my Angels fan, right there.
Who is he?
What have you been drinking, Raleigh Chris? You know, Mike Trout hasn't won a playoff game. Oh wait, ever.
Dude,
2,
Raleigh Chris is big in Anaheim. Don't leave him alone.
2, I believe Vladdy Guerrero Jr. will be dealt at the deadline.
I said 1. You said 1 for all of us.
I'm making my own rules.
There's no making your own damn rules. You said 1.
There's no making your own damn rules in baseball.
3, Bo Bichette is moved.
So you're saying Toronto just fucking dishes to everybody?
I've got Toronto in last place.
I got Toronto as one of my wild card teams with Joe. Dude, you look like Mr. Rapper right there. You're like,
I think they finished around 500, but they're not.
You look like Mr.
They're not
Rapper
making the playoffs.
with your nose and your face like that from Arthur.
You got too many other teams in the American League. Toronto's not making the playoffs.
Oh, by the way, that leads me to my last prediction.
Oh, yeah.
The Orioles and Yankees both missed the playoffs.
You already said that, but let's take a look at this gem right here from Raleigh Chris.
Vladdy going to the Angels isn't a bad
because of his old man
possibility.
Right,
dude, we talk about this guy going. We talk about this guy going somewhere every freaking year, just like Mike Trout going somewhere every year.
Well, but Vlad Jr. is a whole different discussion. He doesn't have the roots there that Trout has. He doesn't have, he hasn't been there for 12 years and that kind of stuff. The Angels are let's look at it. They've got the money to spend for Guerrero. They need a first baseman. They need another bat. It's that's a valid landing spot for Guerrero. If somebody said something like, Atlanta, well, that's just asinine because Matt Olson's not going anywhere. But if to go to the Angels, and finish up his career and kind of do an Albert Pujols kind of deal, where he spent the first half of the year of his career with the Cardinals, spent the second half with the Angels. Yeah, he had that little bit of time with the Dodgers, but I'm not counting that. So, I mean, I don't think that Raleigh Chris is that far out in the weeds to say that Vlad would, just be a matter of if they could work the trade. I think the Angels are
I'm guessing my son is talking about some F1 over there. Rich, did he pop on last night? He never answered me, the little guy.
No, he said he was. He said he wasn't feeling good.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be feeling good either if my 2 cars got eliminated. No. Cheating.
But boys, I got to bug out, man.
Yeah, we calling this an early night, boys.
You got me sweating, guy. You got me sweating.
I'm on the
right. What the fuck are you sweating from? We're not even running.
Running. When's the last time I've seen you guys run? The only time. Oh wait, never.
Right, because I don't run. I can't run. I have a bad ankle.
I can't either.
Rich has a very valid point. I could run. I just would probably fall over and be in a lot of pain.
And that wouldn't be fun.
I don't have an ankle joint, so. So my bone is just crushing into my other bone every step I take. Oh, it's a great feeling, boys.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, I'll be the starter. Why not? And then, Rich, you can go next. I'm at Sports Talking It on Twitter. You can get me. Our new show just started. We don't know if we're going to be doing Monday nights or Sunday nights. We have no idea, Jamie. We're all over the place. You can get me at Mem Boats over there for the new show, the UFL show. You can get me at Driving to the Top on Twitter. You can also find us here at Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe. Jamie gets way more into it than I do. That's why I like him doing this this introduction into this. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Rich, I'll see you tomorrow night. Close out your day.
Yeah, tomorrow night we do Pittsburgh Talk. Wednesday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. It starts out as Pittsburgh Talk. Never know where it's going to end up
because of this. Because
we've been pretty good the last couple of weeks.
Because of this hour thing, we've been limited.
Yeah,
which is
fine.
Of course,
Monday nights 7 Eastern, 6 Central. If you haven't had a chance to check out Two Tire Change, the NASCAR show here on the station, you need to. If you haven't, why haven't you? But we get into the previous week's races. We talk about the upcoming races. Get into some DFS. And talk about all sorts of different things involving NASCAR. Last night, I broke the story that Kyle Busch will be racing against his son tomorrow night. So, that's going to be a first-time event there. On
Rich,
Twitter, Big Rich 8371. And on Facebook, it's my name, Rich Richardson.
Are we getting driving to the ring with you? Are we getting driving to the ring with you and Marcus?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it.
He's anxious.
We haven't really talked.
WrestleMania right around the bend. I'll get it on that prediction show. Why not? I'll jump in on that. We could probably talk Matt into it. I know Dylan loves talking wrestling. He usually leaves every time we do.
My big thing, I can talk any aspect of wrestling, old, new. Really about the only thing I don't do much with is like AAA and Lucha and that kind of thing down with the Mexican wrestling. I can do New Japan and all that stuff too, but that's in the world.
Marcus just wanted to keep it like TNA and
TNA made a major move today. They had some firings in there, and they fired Gail Kim. And if I'm Tony Khan, I'm throwing a bag of money at Gail Kim to get her to run that women's division, as well as she did with TNA. As long as she was there, she could really fine tune that AEW women's division. They've got talent. They got a lot of talent. And they just added some with Megan Bain and that kind of thing. You bring somebody like Gail Kim in to really tighten that up. Those ladies could give the WWE ladies roster a run. They really could.
I'm going to say Shane Bieber is close in the Cy Young talk.
If he stays healthy, that's valid.
Jamie
His big thing is
or
staying
Dylan,
healthy.
whoever wants to go next.
I'll
One,
go
two.
next.
Don't
You
fight
can
over
follow me, yours truly.
I'm out, boys.
it. All right, Rich. See you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, man.
Tried timing that perfectly. It didn't work. Tried timing that perfectly. It didn't work.
Yep. Anyway, you guys can follow me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist at DJ Dog Tags on Twitter X. It's at the bottom right here. You guys can also follow me at theforkball.com and now stadiumrant.com, where I write about all sports. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that like button and ring the bell for notifications. For more information, for more content on Driving to the Top production, like our UFL show, Joe Dalio and I, our Subway Conversation show. We just had our premiere episode, and open mic nights. Don't forget to, or you can check us out on our Facebook page, Twitch stream, Facebook stream, X stream, wherever you consume your podcasts. Thank you very much for listening, guys. And as always, we're driving to the top.
Dylan, you got to renew your Facebook on the StreamYard, by the way.
Already done. Already done.
I forgot to tell you that earlier. Anyway, Dylan, how people get you, buddy?
At Dylan at Sports One, Spunky Stratton Sports, or you could see me Twitch, the Big D 3300.
Sweet, sweet. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It is Open Sports Mike. Don't be afraid to get over there and have comments and leave us some words, and we'll go from there. Rally Chris, my son Josh, thanks for checking in, and everybody have a good night, guys.